What's poppin', y'all? One of the biggest F-ups that just happened this year, and this one bothers me because I actually really wanted to see this fight, is Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul. Gervonta Davis would call out Jake Paul over a year ago when he was fighting Mike Tyson. He's like, oh, to the bozo that shared the ring with Mike, you a whole bozo for this. And you didn't get the job done, poopy head. And they were like leading up, like there was an Aiden Ross did a stream with Jake Paul where this guy was driving in a Bugatti. Just a side note, I think Bugattis are really ugly. Now I'm saying this as a person that doesn't even have a vehicle, right? Like, how are you going to hate from outside the club when you can't even get in? Listen, hey, touche, right? Like, I guess I should just shut up. But this clip was him driving to the venue where they were going to do like a promotional event. I'm going to play that for you guys right now.
Say you're sorry to Gervonta, bro.
Sorry, Gervonta, for being late. I know you have plenty of things to do, like punching your baby mama and stuff.
Whoa! Come on, Jay!
I'm sorry, bro.
Dude!
Yo, wait, I didn't say that out loud.
All right, Chad.
I won.
So there was a lead up to this fight. It was supposed to happen on Netflix, and it got canceled. Now, a lot of people didn't know why it was getting canceled or why they were looking for replacements. Like, for instance, Francis Ngannou was tapped for being a replacement fight, which I think would have been another great fight. Right? Like, Francis Ngannou had knocked down Tyson Fury, who Tyson Fury's like, what, 6'8", 6'9"? Tyson Fury's a giant. And Jake Paul versus Francis Ngannou, they probably would have been in a similar weight class. That would have been a difficult fight I think that would have been the most challenging fight that Jake Paul would have taken. Well, we would get some details from Lauren LaRosa, who would claim that this is why Gervonta Davis pulled out. And Jake would say something that's a little bit conflicting. So Lauren LaRosa of The Breakfast Club, she said, I have exclusive details on why. I've been told Netflix was looking for a reason to part ways for several reasons, on top of the fact that the fight wasn't selling. See alleged their reasons below. The fight selling is not a thing, though, because it streams for free on Netflix. Well, for free, quote unquote. If you have any Netflix plan, you could stream the show or stream the events. So I don't understand how the fight selling is a thing. It wasn't like pay-per-views. And, well, are they talking about the specific event, the venue selling? If that's the case, but I don't even think that's where most of the money would be made for Netflix. He says, I was told by a source who'd know that Tank Davis was allegedly horrible to work with, number one. 2, late all the time. 3, wouldn't promote the fight. The word my source used for Gervonta Tank Davis was, quote, spoiled. I'm told Netflix has also scrapped their countdown content planned to air the week leading up to the fight. My source also alleges that there is a video from the club Tootsies incident developing. I think this source is Jake Paul or somebody close to Jake Paul, because Jake said the same thing. And man, oh man, oh man. So Jake would send out this following tweet, because people were saying that they pulled out because Gervonta caught a new case for a DV incident, and that's why everything pulled out. Gervonta Davis has a history of DV. We've seen a couple of boxers get into situations like this with their woman or a woman that they wanted. And that's why, or fighters in general, that's why I always say that people are like, man, he would put hands on a chick, he wouldn't put hands on a man. No. These guys start off putting hands on dudes, and then they put hands on chicks. I've never seen like a quote-unquote DEI hands where they're only putting hands on chicks, at least from a famous person's perspective, right? But Jake Paul would tweet out, Gervonta Davis is an actual walking human piece of garbage. Working with him is an absolute nightmare. The unprofessionalism, the bizarre requests, the showing up hours late to shoots, to the numerous arrests and related accusations and lawsuits. If you support this man, you support the most vile sin a man can commit. Oh, hold on. I don't think kids are involved. I don't want to give this woman hitter a platform to grow his fans and to grow his bank account. I didn't. My company champions women. I'm so sorry to everyone involved. Now, I will say that his company, Most Valuable Fighters, does champion women. Like, they've had women on the cards that most of us didn't care to watch fight. We didn't even know. Like, who's the girl or the woman that's a really skilled boxer? He's put a lot of paper in her pocket. So he for sure does that. But he got Gervonta Davis when he knew Gervonta Davis's history already of putting hands on chicks. So we're not doing that. But we're also not taking away from credit from Jake Paul. I'm so sorry to everyone involved, mostly to the undercard fighters, to my team at Most Valuable Promotions, and to my team who worked so hard prepping for this fight, sacrificing time with loved ones and kids just for this fool to lose his unintelligent mind again. It's scary that devilish men like this can rise to the top of culture and sports, including in positions of power. I hope you people moving forward look beyond this fake streetwear pieces swag, quote unquote, and search for something deeper to be a fan of. As for me, it's on to the next one. As always, anyone, anytime, any place, Jake. And he would be on a call. I'm going to play you guys 2 clips of the call that he was on where he was quite emotional talking to Aiden Ross about this event not happening.
Yeah, bro. I mean, like, people don't realize how much effort is put into these training camps and, like, how people literally don't see their kids for months at a time, and this guy is like such a piece of shit, bro. He pulled up to Tootsies and beat up a girl, dragged her through the parking lot, and punched her in the face. And it's like, bro.
Okay.
Like,
wait, but how do you know that happened?
it's a lawsuit. Miami-Dade is coming. There's video, like, everything, bro. He did this shit in public. Like, you have to understand, this guy was sober, driving to Tootsies, and it's just like, I'm gonna beat this girl up. Like, he wasn't even drunk, but yeah.
I'm sorry, bro.
But yeah, I feel bad, bro. I wanted to hang out with you, and no, we're literally here hunting.
Oh, who is that?
These are my homies.
Damn.
But we're literally hunting right now.
Okay, I'll let you guys get to it, Jake, but I'm sorry you're going through that.
No, it's all good, bro. But I really wanted to hang out, knock this guy out. Like, it's the craziest part about it is that these guys who are like terrible people have such big fan bases and like rise to the top of sport and culture, and they're just pieces of shit. That's what I hate the most, bro.
This situation lines up with what Lauren LaRosa's talking about with an incident at Tootsies. So if Gervonta Davis, in the lead up to a big payday and a big fight, is driving sober to so those of you who may not know what Tootsies is, it's kind of like a strip club type of situation. I wouldn't call it a brothel. Drake has rapped about it. It's like starlets. Like, these guys, they pull up. It's kind of like a club / strip club at the same time, and they'll usually pay the chicks and like try to get involved with the chicks in some manner. So he pulls up there sober, and then this guy said he beat up a chick there and dragged her outside into the parking lot. This is insanity. I can't even. This has got to be like a result of CTE, right? There's no way. How do you do something like this? And Tootsies is like a famous place. That's what I'm saying. Drake rapped about it. It's not like he pulled up to a dingy club in downtown Baltimore or something like that, and he just pulled her out the back. No, this is Tootsies in Miami, big city. So for him to do something like this more, and I genuinely feel bad for Jake Paul, not just because of Jake Paul. Like, he's talking about fight camps, right? Like, fight camps are intense. So he's taking months of his time that he's training, and they're all dialed in on this fight. And then it's not just them. It's all of the... And this is why I think Jake feels emotional. It's not just for his situation. And Jake Paul, he plays the role of the villain. But people that have been involved with him have said, like, yo, his team, they're professional. They handled things properly. Jake Paul has always showed up for the fight. We've never seen Jake Paul show up too heavy. He shows up on weight. Now, granted, people are like, they use this criticism of, oh, he's not fighting a real boxer. That wouldn't be entertaining. If we just get a random professional boxer who's no name, it wouldn't be an entertaining fight. It wouldn't sell. We like Jake Paul for the spectacles that he can create and the matchups that people are like, oh, whoa, this is a really cool matchup. But he's always done business, from what we've seen, professionally. People haven't said anything negative about him. And that's why his company, Most Valuable Promotions, where they did the partnership deal with Netflix, and I think it was Stars. Was it Stars before that? I know it wasn't HBO. Or was it HBO? I think it was Stars. Either way, his company, so he's responsible for a lot of people that are on the undercard. So a lot of the people on the undercard, they really need this fight. And they've been prepping for this fight and spending money away from their family to show up, to get their payday, and, to continue and sustain their career. Jake Paul, this isn't going to harm him financially. It's not going to put a dent in him. It's not really going to change much of his life. But all of the people that have been working, the coaches, etc., of the undercard, and like the other women that he's talking about that are probably going to fight on the card too, they got screwed. So it's so many people that get screwed because of a terrible decision that was made by Gervonta Davis. And this is why rappers are similar. It's like, do you think Gervonta Davis, when he's making a decision, he's thinking like, damn, how can this affect, like a person in the undercard that's still training to try and make it? No, he's not thinking that whatsoever. I don't even know what he's thinking. The guy probably doesn't have half a brain to be doing something like, especially at Tootsies. Like, if it was a situation at his home, I'm not going to say I understand, but if it's a situation in his home and he's with his girlfriend or whatever, and then he flies off the handle and cracks her upside the head, you can say, well, he's at home. Like, it's like you can't justify it. It's still stupid, but you could say this guy has no control over his emotions and he did something out of rage. For him to get in the car, leave his home, or in Miami, leave the place, get in the car, drive to another location where there are a lot of people, and then go in there and commit the act, you had a lot of time in between to think, and there was no thinking done. It's not like, a spur of rage or an emotional outburst, which we're not going to justify either one. Either one would have screwed people over and screwed himself over, and it's foul and disgusting behavior. But this is quite disgusting. But this is the problem what Jake is talking about. Like, people aren't necessarily, there are a lot of fans of Gervonta Davis, but when it comes to fighting, people want to see an entertaining fight. So a lot of people paid to see Floyd Mayweather because they wanted to see him lose. And they were like, yo, when is this guy going to lose? So a lot of haters would watch him. So that's the different aspect of fight sports. But rappers are like this, and rappers just, they get away with it. For example, like, let's just take a couple of examples from this year. You know who he is. You know who they are. Rappers that we like, or we're not going to lie here. We like these rappers. And they're putting hands on chicks. They've got arrests. They've got crazy accusations. We're turning on the music anyway. Now, am I paying money to go to their shows? Hell nah. But also, they don't care what's going on with most people either. Like, people that rely on them and just show up. That's the easiest thing. And Gervonta Davis would have had an easy payday. So this is clown behavior from Gervonta Davis. Frankly, it's disgusting. I hope he gets terrible repercussions for this. And keep in mind, they're saying that this event at Tootsies was just like the nail in the coffin. He was already unprofessional, not showing up, asking crazy demands. It was probably hell to just negotiate with Gervonta Davis. And then this is what comes out of it, which is a disappointment. And I feel bad for Jake in this situation. I'm not going to lie. Nobody, even if you hate Jake Paul, you cannot say that he's in the wrong in this situation, other than wanting to take the fight with Tank in the first place, where you could say, like, yo, this guy's got a history. If you're saying, like, oh, you're all for women and that's why you don't want to platform him, you already knew that he had this on his record before. You probably just thought, okay, this is a big payday. He'll be able to keep it together, right? Well, you got your answer. And the answer is hell no, he couldn't keep it together. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see you on the next one.